I welcome you to the Messiah Revelation Ministry. We are a prophetic end time ministry. We're looking for the arrival of the Messiah. We are watching the fulfillment of the prophecies in the Bible, the prophecies in the Old and the New Testament. We are looking at the prophecies unfolding before our eyes. Today we are dedicating our message to a vision that I had, a vision about the Hebrew Israelites who are already restored. They are restored in the land that was promised to them by Elohim. And in this vision, I saw them singing a song. And this is what this message is about. A vision about the restoration of the Hebrew Israelites. And so let's go into the vision. That was April 15th, April 15, 2021. And I saw a vision. And in that vision, I saw a group of women. And they were in one line. And they were in one accord. They were in one line. And they put their hands on the shoulders of each other, and they were walking through a field. It was a very green field, greener pastures, you can call it. They were walking on a field, and as they were walking, they were shouting, "In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord." Everybody was repeating these words at the same time. In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And you can see they were singing. You can also say they were making a proclamation. In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And I saw in the vision that these people are women. Definitely they were women, and they were from the United States, and they were black women singing in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, as they marched through a field. Everywhere is green vegetation everywhere, and it was unusual, spectacular, unusual. It was spectacular, green pastures, green vegetation. And one thing I found is that the vegetation, the leaves were used to cure diseases. In other words, the leaves of the vegetation where they were used as a medicine. So I woke up from the vision, and so let's look at the vision and analyze the vision. Here's a vision where I saw women, and when you are in a vision, the impression that comes into your mind is what the Lord wants you to know. So in the vision, the impression was that the women were black Americans, and I don't know whether I should call them black Americans. These are the only people that have to have a prefix before their names. You normally call people Americans, but as for those who are dark skinned, you call them black Americans. As for those who were taken from Africa, you call them African Americans. As for those who color is not white, you call them people of color. And as for those who are not from the privileged class, you call them Negroes. But regardless of how you call them, the women that I saw in the vision I'm talking about were women from United States America, and they were all black women. And there's no doubt that when you look at the context of the vision, they were not black Americans, they were not African Americans, they were not people of color, they were Hebrew Israelite women. They are already restored in the land that was promised to them by Elohim, the one who scattered the children of Judah. And so this is a powerful vision about the restoration of the Hebrew Israelites in the land that is greener than any land that I've seen. It's greener than any vegetation that you see anywhere in the world. And the leaves of the trees in the field where I saw this woman was used for healing diseases. They were useful for medicinal purposes. And so that is the context of the vision. And there's no doubt that the Lord wanted me to know where He has already restored the Hebrew Israelites. And when I say the Lord has already restored them, the Lord has restored the Negroes in the land that was promised to them. You have to understand, I'm talking prophetically. Prophetically, something happens in the spiritual realm before it happens naturally. So you remember in the book of Revelation, the Apostle John saw the Lamb of God who was slain before the foundations of the earth. What does it mean? It means that Yeshua was slain before Elohim created the earth, the world, everything in it. Yeshua, the Lamb of God, was slain before the foundations of the earth. And it happened before physically Yeshua was crucified and died on the cross. You have to remember that spiritual principle. And when somebody is a prophet, his assignment is given to him before the foundations of the earth, before the prophet came to the world. And that's what the Lord told Jeremiah. My son Jeremiah, before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you and I set you apart. And so the Lord set Jeremiah apart spiritually before the actual birth of the prophet by his mother. In the same way, those who will accept the mark of the beast will be those whose names were not written in the book of Lamb, which book was opened before the foundations of the earth. So in the book of Revelation, Apostle John was told that those who will accept the mark of the beast, of the Antichrist, will be those whose names were not found written in the book of life that was in existence before the foundations of the earth. And so going back to the vision that I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is that the Hebrew Israelites are already restored in the land promised to them by Elohim. So I saw them in the land, green pastures, and they were in one accord. They were women and they were singing. I'm not sure whether they were singing. They were saying, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, with the same tone, with the same voice. They didn't say any other thing except in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And so when I woke up after the vision, I knew that yes, the Lord has already restored the Hebrew Israelites in the land that was promised to them. So let's look at the Bible and see the land where the Hebrew Israelites were restored. They were restored in a land that you can call greener pastures. And when we say greener pastures, we are not talking about the land of America where African immigrants move and labor seeking for greener pastures. We are not talking about the Gulf states where Africans, women, men go, they are enslaved in the name of petrodollars. That's not the greener pasture I'm talking about. I'm not talking about greener pastures in Europe where people go and they are enslaved for the French franc, the euro, or the British pound. This is not the greener pastures I'm talking about. I'm talking about the greener pastures that King David wrote about in Psalm 23. I'm talking about a greener pastures where the leaves of the tree is used as medicine and it heals the nation. Prophetically, I was shown a vision that is relevant for what is written in the book of Revelation. So let's look at the book of Revelation, chapter 22. The book of Revelation, chapter 22, reading from verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. Verse 2, Revelation 22. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And so the restoration of the Hebrew Israelites is put in a prophetic context. They are restored in a land that is greener. It is greener than any green land you find anywhere in the world. Well watered by Elohim himself, because Elohim lives in a place where a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeds out of his throne. It proceeds out of the throne of God and the throne of the Lamb. We have two thrones, the throne of God and the throne of the Lamb of God, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the one who will come and restore. He will gather the outcasts of Israel under the spurs of Judah, and he will restore them. And he will restore them at a place where he has his throne, And Apostle John saw a pure river of water of life. It's not an ordinary water. It's not water from the Susquehanna River. It is not water from the Mississippi River. It is not water from the Congo River. It is not water from the Euphrates. It is water that is water of life, and it proceeds from the throne of Elohim and the throne of the Lamb of God. And that is the place where I saw the Hebrew Israelites restored, and they sang a song in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. When you see Hebrew women singing, you know they can sing. And in this vision, they sang with vigor. They were very happy. They were joyful. They were rejoicing. And they were walking triumphantly in the field, greener pastures. And they were singing. And I said, the people I saw were women. And why is it that there were no men in that group? I'm not sure why there was no men in the group, but at least I will take you to the song of Miriam in the Bible, Exodus chapter 15, verse 20. On that occasion, the Hebrew Israelites had been taken out of captivity in Egypt, and the Lord delivered them from the army of the Pharaoh of Egypt. And there was a song, so Exodus 15 verse 20. And if you look at Exodus 15, the title, The Song of Moses and Miriam, the song that they sang when they were delivered by Elohim, delivered from captivity. The Hebrew Israelites are already restored. They are restored in a field that is greener than anywhere in the world. A field where the leaves are used to heal the nations. So let's look at the song that Miriam sang in Exodus 15 verse 20. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a tremble in her hand, and all the women went out after her with trembles and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he have triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have been thrown into the sea. So do you see the prophetic significance of the vision that I had? Where there were only women who were singing in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, only women. Hebrew Israelites. They were Negro women from Babylon. Oh, Babylon, United States. They were singing and they were marching in a beautiful line. They stretched their arms on each other and they were singing in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. I didn't see any man. I saw only women, Negro women from Babylon, America, restored in the land that is green. It's different from the land where they came from. Where they came from, their ancestors They labored in cotton fields. They labored in sugar plantations. But here in the vision, I saw them in the land, green, greener than the color green, green pastures. And they sang a song in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And so Exodus chapter 15 verse 21, and Miriam answered them, sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have been thrown into the sea. So it was Miriam, the brother of Aaron, and Moses, the prophetess, who led the Hebrew Israelites to sing a song in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, praising Elohim, because the horse and the rider have been thrown into the sea. The Hebrew Israelites have already been restored in the land. A vision I saw on April the 15th, 2021. And I related to the other vision that I saw, which you already know if you watch this channel. The vision of the prophet Jeremiah on October 30th, 2007. The same day that I saw the gathering of the scattered African Americans, and I heard the word, the African Americans will help you. The word African Americans came in. They are not African Americans. They are Hebrews. They are not Negroes. They are Hebrews. They are not black women. They are Hebrews. They are not people of color. They are Hebrews. October 30th, 2007. That's when I saw the prophet Jeremiah. The same day I had a vision about the gathering of the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah in reference to Babylon, United States, the Egypt of our time, the Egypt where the Hebrew Israelites were kidnapped, enslaved, and shipped in ships to this Egypt, the land of bondage, based on Exodus 20 verse 2. And I saw only women. And now the prophetic record in Exodus 15 verse 20 to 21 is telling me that when the Lord delivered the Hebrew Israelites from the old Egypt, the women gathered. The women gathered under the prophetess Miriam to sing a song in the name of the Lord, thanking Elohim for drowning the horse and the horse riders. I'm not sure who the modern Miriam will be, the woman who will assume the mantle of Miriam at this time. I'm not sure who will be, which Hebrew Israelite woman will lead the Hebrew Israelite in a song in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. A prophetic song has already been sung. The Hebrew Israelites are already restored in the land, greener pastures. The trees and the leaves are good for medicine. They are within the zone of Elohim. The other day, the angel told John, tell the church in Ephesus, those who overcome, I will give them an opportunity to taste the tree of life that is in paradise. And so this message is for the Hebrew Israelites who are scattered over the world. The prophetic song will be sung, and it will be in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. I'm not suggesting by any means that you just have to sit down and do nothing. We are in the end times. The restoration is coming. But it's important for you to know the times that we are in, for you to obey the commandments of God, for you to come out of Babylon. You cannot sing in the name of the Lord when you just touched the LGBT flag. You cannot sing in the name of the Lord when you just murdered somebody. You cannot sing in the name of the Lord when you watch pornography in your bedroom. You cannot sing in the name of the Lord when you do not fear the name of the Lord. You cannot do that. Miriam, the prophetess, she knew Elohim. She feared Elohim because the Lord had done a great wonder, delivering the Hebrew Israelites from bondage and avenging the Pharaoh and his demonions. Pharaoh and his dominion. Pharaoh and his demons. Pharaoh and the horse riders. They had been defeated. And Miriam was full of praise. In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. It's encouraging for you to know the Hebrew Israelites, specifically those who fear the name of the Lord. The Lord has already restored you. And as the Lord said regarding the church in Ephesus, those who overcome will be given the opportunity to taste the tree of life that is in paradise. The Hebrew Israelites, the Lord will give you an opportunity to be in the land promised to your ancestors. It will be different from the land where you are. There's no comparison. You'll be within the zone of protection. Protection by the wings of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. You need to be aware that the Hebrew Israelites have already been restored. And so don't worry about any debates. Who are the Israelites? Who are the true Israelites? Who are who and what and what? You are already restored prophetically in a land that is green and where the trees are good to cure diseases, where I saw cornfields to nourish you. I didn't see you in high rises. I didn't see you in tall buildings. I saw you in the field, greener pastures, and you were walking and you were following a rhythm in your song in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And that is the vision, the prophetic vision of Hebrew Israelites already restored, singing in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. You know who you are. They cannot stop the awakening. They cannot undo what Elohim has already done. Elohim has already restored you in your land. Oh, the daughter of Zion. I saw how you sang in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. The Lord gave me an opportunity to see you singing in unison, in a line, triumphant line. You are marching triumphantly in the field, the green field, the pastures, and you were giving praises to Elohim in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. Thank you for watching this video.